TeamLease is the company which is in focus, as it recently got a big endorsement from T. Rowe Price, with the investment house picking up 5% stake in the company, one of the biggest headhunters and job service providers. The firm is also foraying in the education sector by acquiring almost 40% stake in School Guru EduServe, which is an online learning firm. What is the scope and opportunity to grow in the hiring space, and what to do and how the trends look like? Let's ask Rituparna Chakraborty, co-founder and executive vice president at TeamLease. Hi, ma'am. Good morning to you, and thanks a lot for joining us today. Well, talking about your company TeamLease, which currently has 5% share of the organized market, I just want to understand, how is TeamLease building moats in its areas of operations?
I think you must have studied us well enough to know that our focus has been to keep ourselves as diversified as possible when it comes to the expansion in terms of volumes and numbers. And at this point of time, I think we are looking at 67 industries where we have been able to provide staffing solutions. While we are focusing on rapid diversification and ensuring that the mix always remains healthy and not biased towards any one sector, side by side, we've kicked in the vertical plays. So you must have seen our IT staffing acquisition is in that direction. Our telecom acquisition has been in that direction. And most of these acquisitions were to build focused capabilities and also ensure that we are able to command higher margins because of the nature of services that we are able to offer because of these vertical plays. So the two-prong approach, one hand, we would continue to look at diversifying and ensuring that we increase our market penetration across sectors, and side by side build capabilities in few of the verticals where we feel that there could be a lot of specialized demand coming in when it comes to staffing per se, and where we need to build different muscles from the ones that we possess right now. So yeah, I think the objective is that honestly, in a country like India, the good thing is that there are flavors of the moment. There are sectors which keep emerging. Like 4 years back, it was e-commerce. 2 years back, or 1.5 years back, I think it was payment banks. I think it's important to build the organization in such a manner that we're capable of tapping into all those flavors and ensuring that we make quick penetration and support these industries for immediate expansions and build their reach, because that's exactly where partnering with TeamLease comes into play and adds value to these organizations.
Okay, Ritu, so tell us how a company is employing new technologies when it comes to change in skilling and reskilling. And also, how is automation changing client needs? Does this reduce their needs, or does it make their needs more specialized?
India is at that structural phase in its economy where there would be a couple of sectors where you will see impact of automation showing in terms of job creation, but the large part of the country's bigger challenge is formalization, because informal work is being done and manpower is being used to get that work done. And I think the first transition you will see is informalization moving to formal work, and then maybe looking at, is there a way by which we can reduce some of this? So I think India, across sectors, I don't think it's something that we should be panicking about and worrying about, because still manpower is cheaper for many of these sectors and for the kind of work that is getting done. So I think that's important to acknowledge. Yes, technology sector is one sector where we are seeing a lot of automation kicking in, but it's technology. It was not ever supposed to be a net employment generator for this country. It's a technology sector, and it's inevitable that it will be happening. Something like this were expected to happen. We will be seeing automation kicking in even in BFSI, because the need for accuracy, the need for predictability is extremely high for that sector, and I think that's one sector which will be leveraging. However, they would be creating alternative jobs, which will be higher skill job, definitely. And hence, I don't think there is a threat to jobs, but yes, there is going to be a transformation of jobs that is expected in few of these sectors. In the others, which are right now extremely manpower intensive and rely heavily on informal work, the first transition that you're likely to see is from informal, more formal play is likely to happen. That will happen in construction, that will happen in retail, that will happen in gems jewelry, that will happen in a lot of consumer, durable consumer, FMCG related organizations.
Let's talk about staffing then, which contributes nearly 3% to your revenues, and companies actually forayed into this space recently. There are concerns about headcount remaining stagnant in the IT industry. Could you tell us by what scale can staffing grow for TeamLease? What are the kind of scope and opportunities that you're looking at?
Yes, essentially you just have to move the goalpost. The skills that we were catering to earlier, those skills are likely to get automated and hence there are newer skills which are emerging. How do we build capabilities in those areas? I think that's pretty much, and hence our approach is that to offer customers a solution which is not just standalone a headcount that we provide, but if you're able to come up with a solution where we can provide them skilled youth in the areas that they're looking at, I think that would be the right space to be in. Irrespective, the nature of the job is such, especially in IT, is extremely project driven, and hence the need for temp staffing would remain constant and quite, we're expecting it to actually increase given what's happening right now. But yeah, I think the idea is to create value for the customers in that space right now. The bench model has become archaic, and I think every organization, the services, IT services space has realized that it's not competitive anymore to rely on that kind of model, and hence it's always better to have temp pitch in at such situations for such projects. So that's where the relevance of IT staffing come in. That industry is expected to grow. It's about 3.1 billion in this country. That business is expected to grow about 5.5 billion approximately. And honestly, I believe it's a conservative estimate. It's going to grow 16 to 17%. The entire sector is expected to grow. So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting because old skills will become probably not more relevant, but the newer roles which are emerging clearly.
Ritu, your recent acquisition, School Guru, is also a bit different from what you've gone in for earlier. What's the thought process here when it comes to School Guru?
Finally, we are a company which is trying to innovate right at the intersection of the three: employment, employability, and education. We understand that in a country like India, where we need to skill millions, trying to do it through a classroom solution is not going to happen. As a matter of fact, India cannot achieve scale with having as many numbers coming out as we should by getting people to classrooms. And hence, we have to figure out a solution where we can enable and equip kids with higher education solutions, which is digitized, which is available to them on their smartphones. And a combination, if you're able to marry MOOCs or a digital online solution with apprenticeship, is honestly a killer app for what we are trying to achieve from a country perspective and an organization perspective. So I think we expect the volume and the need of talent going up in the months and the years to come. And if we are not able to have a population of skilled youth available, it won't work. So honestly, keeping the future in mind, building solutions which creates healthy talent pipeline, not just for us, for the industry per se, is the way to go. And School Guru is an acquisition in that direction.
Thanks a lot, Ritu, for joining us.